Henry Cejudo taking on Chito Marlon Vera. It's a great bantamweight bout. It's a bout that makes sense to me, especially for Henry Cejudo. I'm not too sure that it makes sense for Chito Vera, but I guess Cejudo is actually ranked above him, so it makes sense for Chito Vera to take it.
Yeah. You were saying before, though, you think that this is a tailor-made fight for Henry.
I do. I really do. And Chito's very good on the feet, and he's very good on the ground, and he's slick everywhere. If he was going to have one element that you look and you say, what's his weakest element? It's his wrestling. Now, I'm not saying that he couldn't submit Henry. Obviously, anything could happen. I don't see it happening. Henry's been with people that are very slick on the ground. He's got great submission defense. Henry's going to use his stand-up for a little while and take Chito down and just try to work him on the ground. And I think Chito's going to have a very hard time getting himself up from Henry. It's a different style. It's a different base. It's a different type of grappling art that he's used to. And if there's one that it's the weakest form of his game, it would be that wrestling aspect and being able to scramble like Henry. This is a good fight for Henry. It's a good matchup for Henry, especially off of having that one fight back that he had with Sterling. This to me is a good fight for him.
Yeah, the thing that concerns me with with him fighting Chito is that he's got a little bit of that wider stance, kind of that karate style stance. Chito's good with the leg kicks. The speed's definitely going to go to Henry. The wrestling's going to go to Henry. The submissions I'm going to give to Chito, but like you said, Henry's going to be hard to finish when it comes to submission game. The power, though, is going to go to Chito on the feet.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
Henry's going to have to get in, get out without taking any damage. Because Chito he's just nasty. And in that guard, if he does take him down, he's got to make sure he stays out of that guard because Chito does a lot of work from that guard with those elbows.
Yep.
So he's got to be cautious and careful in there. This is a good fight. I think you said tailor-made for, Henry. This is like a tailor-made fight for Henry. I'm going to look at it a little bit differently. I think there's going to be, sure, he can take him down, but there's some threats on that bottom game that Henry's hasn't had to deal with before, with the elbows from the bottom, the different types of submissions and setting it up. Chito's very nasty, very grimy, just fighter. A lot of up kicks got to be careful for. It's not like Henry's a tall guy, so Chito doesn't have to really lift his hips too much to kick him in the head. Those kind of things, they make a difference. And so I think Henry, as long as he's focused, which I think he is now, understanding that he was right there, could have potentially won the title, didn't get it done, long layoff, all of those things. I mean, he kind of, that long layoff, John, it just really kind of affected. He was doing so well before he decided to kind of retire.
Sure.
And you took
Dave, pull up Chito Vera's record real quick.
He took 3 years off and had the chance to win, to keep the title, to move on, to go up to 45 and become the first 3-division champion. Yeah.
Okay. This is my point when you take a look at his losses. Yudong Song out-wrestled him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I look at the similarity of where his opponents have been. Aldo, it was, they were in the stand-up for most of it and stuff, so it wasn't. Sandhagen, what did Sandhagen do?
Wrestle him?
He wrestled him.
Mm-hmm.
And Sandhagen's not even close to the wrestling ability of Cejudo. And so I look, and you take a look at all these great wins, and he does have great wins. But Dominic tried to wrestle him a little bit, wasn't successful with it, but it was a stand-up fight. Rob Font was a stand-up fight, except when Chito would hurt Rob and he would go down. Frankie Edgar, we know what happened with that with the kick, but it was never on the ground, really. Davey Grant, same thing. So the guys that give Chito Vera trouble are the guys that can out-wrestle him. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at Henry Cejudo and saying, well, he can definitely out-wrestle him.
Yeah.
And he's got the ability to stay out of the submissions that Chito is. And I absolutely agree with you. Henry has a tendency to put his head down, and the elbow strikes that Chito does while on his back, Henry's got to contest with that and figure out what he needs to do to make sure that doesn't become an equation in the fight.
Yeah, this is the fight I'm most looking forward to seeing. I mean, I know many out there like John, Big John, he's more excited to see the Zuck and Elon fight, but I'm more excited about this fight.
Thank you.
So you guys are just joining us. John just went off about how much he thinks the Zuck and the Elon fight's gonna
Fight
be
of the
great.
century.
If you guys are just joining
Fight of the
us.
century.
Fight of the century. Okay.